Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here at the 2023 edition of the Los Angeles Auto Show. Of course, we had to stop at the Nissan booth because guess what? Their compact sedan is getting some changes for 2024. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2024 updated, changed up, refreshed Nissan Sentra. This particular one is a Sentra SR. But before we get into this smaller size Nissan sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. There's a lot of change going on in the auto industry where sedans are falling to the wayside. You see lots of brands completely eliminating them from their lineup, but you know what? Nissan understands that there's many different ways to travel, and it's not just about crossover SUVs. And what's great is that the Sentra name goes back for decades as one of those leaders in the compact car segment. Now, this segment is not easy because you got some heavy hitters. The Corolla, the Civic. Of course, now you look at brands like Hyundai and Kia with the Forte. And when we look at compact, we're looking at Elantra. Lots of competition, lots of changes. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for the best new compact sedan and you're thinking about a Corolla or a Civic, should you be going with the updated Nissan Sentra? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this SR and find out. Right off the bat, the color. I think Nissan has such a great color palette that even on the smaller size Sentra, it really pops nicely, especially under the auto show lights. Now at the front of the business is where we're gonna start to see some of those changes for 2024. You'll see our LED headlights, and I really felt like when they came out with this design, it fits the Sentra super well. What you're gonna find new for 2024 is the whole grille and front fascia. So you can see how they sculpted the corners just a tad to really bring that body line into the fender. You do have some gloss black here, and I wish they would have put a fog lamp. So I am gonna zonk that because it's just gloss black and it's a fake vent. Let me know in the comment section if you think maybe a triangular fog lamp would have just been the cherry on top of this SR Sunday. But like I said, when it comes to style, they do a pretty good job with making it aggressive for such a small vehicle. Now, as we come across the front grille, you see the new direction with the V-motion grille. It used to be a lot of chrome and a really bold outer perimeter of the V. Now everything is kind of blending in. So you have some gloss black chrome area, and then you'll see our new grille texture, very nicely done with all the different elements. The Nissan badge looking really clean. I love the way they updated this badge. That was a long time coming. And then of course the SR badge, giving it that extra sporty trim addition. Lower section, you have a nice lower lip that extends out. All of this is functional, which is great news. Now, as we rise up, you're still gonna get the same hood, but the way that it blends in with the front fascia, it seems a little bit more of a cleaner design. And I really like how you have this double rise up on the hood, but then also peering off towards the A-pillars. Now, underneath the hood, you're still gonna get that 2-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, produces about 143 horsepower, and it's made it to a CVT. Fingers crossed for the redesign, the next generation of the Sentra, we get some turbocharged power. Because remember, you look at the Civic Si, you look at the GR Corolla, Elantra N, people want performance-oriented compact cars, especially when in the world of all the prices going through the roof, these are the affordable options. Now, as we come around the bend, you'll notice that we have an all-new wheel design. Love what they did here. Machined aluminum with that V-spoke style. Everything else is gloss black. Really love the way they have the overall design of this 18-inch wheel. So crazy to think that once upon a time on Sentras, you were looking at 15-inch wheels. Now we have an 18-inch wheel on the SR trim. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? 215 on the width, and then a 45 series sidewall. I love the way it's really clean around the fender opening. And then of course, with the SR trim, you are gonna get some sportier tuning from the suspension. This still is front wheel drive. So 2-liter inline-4, naturally aspirated engine, front wheel drive, just like the competition. Now, as we come down the side, two-tone is the name of the game, and I think Nissan does the two-tone style spot on the money. So you're gonna have that blue with the painted black upper roof area. You do get a standard size sunroof, which is nice. We have gloss black on the mirror caps with our LED turn signals. And then you'll notice that we have color matched on our door handles. So I like the way they did that. Side skirt has a nice aggressive drop to it. And I really think that if this wasn't here, it would look a lot more bland from the side of the vehicle. But the way that the sunroof blends in super clean with our painted roof, it really is, almost looks like it's not there, but you're gonna be able to enjoy that when you go into the interior. Now, as we work our way back, I think one of the things I would have liked to have seen is this be black chrome, this shiny, bright metalwork. But the good news is it's just on the bottom, it's not up on top, and then you have that floating roof design that comes nicely into the rear quarter panel. So this is that style that Nissan, I think, really brought to the market when they first brought it on the new Maxima and the Altimas. Now you see it on a lot of different brands, but I think they're still doing it really strongly. And then when you get to the back of the SR, you're gonna get a color match. And I'm glad they went color match. Color match trunklet spoiler. You can see how they notch out the area in the back for a place for that Nissan badge. We do have, of course, just like up front, the SR badge. Our nice, very artistic style taillights, and they really match the way the front headlights are shaped. And then as we drop down, they give you one heck of a nice lower bumper diffuser area. You do have your single outlet exhaust, slash cut stainless steel tip. Nice to see that exposed exhaust. I think it kind of feeds into the sportiness and to the pass with the SERs and everything that Nissan was doing with the Sentra over the years. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior because there's some changes I want to show you for 2024. All right, guys, we are inside this Nissan Sentra 2024 model. It's interesting because remember, they're getting rid of the Nissan Altima. So mid-size sedan for Nissan is going to the wayside. The Sentra is still going to be there. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this? Well, let's talk about, first of all, like I said, what you're getting underneath the hood, because we didn't show it this time, but I'll just tell you. 2-liter inline-4, naturally aspirated engine, 149 horsepower with that CVT. Starting price on this is right around $20,000. Not a lot of options in today's market. When the average car costs $50,000, this starts at $20,000. Very competitive to that Civic and Corolla when it comes to the money, but let's see what you get for 2024. To the door panels. Now, when you go SR, I love the stitching. They brought more stitching. You have soft touch material throughout the whole door panel. And then you'll notice around the switchgear, I like the way they did the faux carbon fiber. That's way better than gloss black, way better than just regular flat black. It gives us some nice element of design. You'll notice we have our Bose sound system, 8-speaker Bose sound system, and then you got a decent sized door pocket. You could easily get, I would say 2, maybe 3 Costco hot dogs and a bottle of Pepsi to wash it down. Remember, Costco hot dog, still $1.50, $1.50. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. They brought the great stitching, soft touch material, and then as you slide on in, we have our infotainment system. Now standard on all Sentras will be the 360 shield protection, and of course you're also gonna have the ability for Google access, which is great on these updated infotainment systems, but you have that 8-inch design. It is that floating iPad. Watch this, Sentra SR, you ready for it? Hit the camera button. Look at this, we got 360 cameras, and you have that forward-facing camera out the front. I could see those people. I think they're flirting with one another. Kind of weird at the auto show. And then you can see the angle, 18-inch wheels. Standard wheel is a 16-inch. This is an 18-inch. Working our way down, we got our cool-looking AC vents, styled just like a Mercedes-Benz. And if you think I'm lying, look at the older Mercedes-Benz air outlets. They look very aeronautical, just like this. You do have 2 stages of heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then you have your dual climate control, which is nice. Down below, you have USB-C, USB-A, 12-volt, and wireless charging. This is going to control that CVT. Would be nice to have a 6-speed manual. Please bring a manual transmission and turbocharged power, Nissan. 2 cup holders. You got a place for your Tic Tacs after you're done eating your Funyuns. Like the way they brought more stitching. Charmin soft on the armrest. Lift it up. You could easily put 5 bags. The smaller bags, the snack size bags of Funyuns in there. Just make sure, please, have some Listerine or something when you go to pick up your date, especially if it's a first date and you go in for a kiss. Funyun breath, that doesn't do anything for me. Seats, You have the zero gravity, designed by NASA with Nissan, the stitching. Love the way they bring some of the material here. Nice bolstering. Manual adjustments for the passenger, but guess what? Since you're the captain of this space shuttle, I have electric assist over here, and there is that sunroof that I told you blended in so nicely, and you have your manual shade. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you behind the flat bottom steering wheel in the Sentra. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Now, like I said, you do have those power adjustments, and I love the way it's got the lower lumbar. Really, really nice. Zero gravity. I feel like one of the astronauts flying to the moon for the second time, or maybe the first time. Who knows? It depends if you believe the different conspiracy theories. If you're wondering what am I doing, I'm actually putting the seat back because I wanted you to see how far the seat went back. Somebody actually asked me that in the comment section, like, Joe, you never show me how far a seat goes back. Well, there you go. That's for you, Bob, just for you. I'm 6 feet tall. This does not feel like a compact car. Steering wheel, nice flat bottom, sporty wheel with the stitching. They do a great job with the cohesive stitching everywhere. It is manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have that hybrid setup of gauges. What do I mean by hybrid? I'm talking about that we have a digital display in the center, 7 inches, and then you have an analog tach, speedometer, fuel gauge, and coolant gauge, and you could scroll through a cornucopia of information. It looks like we're getting a flat here at the show. 25, they need to check that. Casey, you need to get on that right away. But why don't we go ahead? Guess what? We got 4 doors for more friends. So let's see what your friends are going to experience when they get in your Sentra. All right, guys, backseat time. Now, the great news is, still for 2024, you're getting the same great space. I like the way they did the stitching, even for the rear seat passengers. And look at how soft these seats are. Very, very nice, zero gravity. Like I said, you're gonna feel like an astronaut. Get yourself a big old bucket of astronaut ice cream. You don't need a spoon. But sitting here, I'm 6 feet tall, feel good, nice headliner. You do get a USB-A, so at least they gave us that back here. We've been in cars that are like 10 times more as this much of this car, and they don't give you anything. So you do have a USB-A. I do have a pocket over here. Here's where you're gonna wanna keep all of the constellation maps, especially if you go out to Lover's Lane. You know what I'm talking about, and you're looking up at the Big Dipper. You wanna have your star map so you could show your date the Big Dipper. Kind of makes sense. But you're sitting back here feeling good, and then guess what? You pull down that armrest. Ooh! I wish my pillow was made out of this. Very, very nice, soft. 2 cup holders, so you could have some water after Lover's Lane, because sometimes you work up a sweat. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get into the trunk and see, is there enough space in this Sentra for all your junk? All right, guys, the last piece of the puzzle, obviously the trunk space. What's great is that Nissan has really carved a large amount of room. This proves that you can have a sedan, especially a smaller sedan, and have room in the trunk for all your junk. You do have the 60-40 split. Somebody did a no-no. They actually took the seatbelt and actually locked it behind the seat. You shouldn't do that. That's a big no-no here at the auto show. But you do have your little nook for 2 boxes of Twinkies, and then check it out. There is technically a spare. They take it out for the show, but you will have a spare in your Sentra, I promise. Flip that down, nice and clean. But these are the things that we like to bring to you at the auto show. Yes, we like to bring all the Zs and the Nismos and the GTRs and the Godzillas and all this other stuff. But really, when it comes down to what we can buy, what we drive each and every day, it's vehicles like this Nissan Sentra, especially at that price point, $20,000, that make things more palatable. But let me know what you think. Like I said, you have lots of choices for a compact car. Is this the best way to go for 2024 over the Corolla and the Civic? If you notice, both of those names start with a C. This starts with an S. Which one is better? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we need to give it to the hardest working camera person in the whole freaking universe and the Milky Way and the Snickers galaxy. Lori, working that camera like a champ. Thank you for your hard work, Lori. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.